Her work on all these levels dovetails with our efforts to help not only our patients, but also the nation's middle class. We support Elizabeth because we want to help her heal America, and we know that she will work for us on our fight to rebuild and restore Main Street. Please join me in welcoming Elizabeth Warren to her first MNA Convention and Labor Program.
This is my very, very first time to be with you all together, and I can't tell you how pleased I am, but what I can tell you is it won't be the last time I'm here. You count on it. Now, the nurses were the first, and it meant so much to me when I got the call that said, we want to endorse you, and we're going to endorse you. Because what it meant to me is it felt right. I've been working with the nurses here in Massachusetts and across the country on healthcare issues now for 15 years probably. But the way I saw it is it's more than healthcare issues, it's every part of the question about America's future. That nurses get up every day and they work for us. They work for America. And the idea that the nurses would be the first to say, I want to be part of your effort to run for the United States Senate, to go forward with a vision of a stronger America for ordinary families, for working families, for middle-class families, for families living at the economic margins. It felt right to me. And so when I had the chance to come here today, I said yes immediately. This is what I wanted to do. I wanted to be here with the nurses. So let me just say one or two things about this race and what drew me into this race. For me, it truly is all about America's working families, America's middle class. I grew up in a world of opportunity, a time when we believed that America's middle class could do anything, that our children would do better than we did. I believe that America has lost its way and that we have turned away from that. Instead of the kind of America I grew up in, we now have an America in which the middle class is getting chipped, squeezed, and hammered every single day. Millions of families live just one bad diagnosis, one pink slip away from complete financial ruin. Some of you have read some of my work. About half of all the families who file for bankruptcy do so in the aftermath of a serious medical problem. You know, one of the reasons that work was important is another reason for this campaign. At the time that my co-authors and I started that line of research, what most people were saying is, we know who's in bankruptcy. It's people who bought fancy cars. It's people who went to the mall too many times. It's people who outspent their incomes and are just out there trying to live the high life. We went out to tell the real story, the story that you see on the ground every single day. That's the story of people who work hard, who play by the rules, and then hit one bump in the road and the whole thing turns upside down. We're here to tell that story. We're here to talk about that, to bring that story forward, and to say as a country, we can do better than that. We can do better than that. For me, this is all a question of which side you stand on. Who do you stand with? You know, Washington right now works for those who've already made it. It works for those who can hire an army of lobbyists, who can hire an army of lawyers. It works for those when there's 200 pages of regulation, but you can slide your way through it because you've got enough lawyers to do it. It doesn't work for ordinary families. It doesn't work for small businesses. It doesn't work for someone who's trying to get something started or somebody who's just barely hanging on. We have a choice to make, and it's a choice right here in Massachusetts. It's really a choice about which side do you stand on. Do you believe that we should have more tax breaks for those who've already made it big? Or do we believe that we should take that money and invest in creating opportunities for us and for our kids so the next one who has a great idea has a chance to make it big. I say this from my heart. I never thought I would be running for office. I never thought I'd be this directly involved in politics. But there comes a time when you have to stand up and say, I'll do everything I can to make a change. I'll do everything I can to talk about exactly that choice. I'll do everything I can for you to carry forward on the issues we've talked about, for the families you work for, day in and day out. I am deeply honored by your endorsement. I am moved personally by it. And I take this responsibility very seriously as I go forward, and for 13 months we'll be out there across this state campaigning, shaking hands, kissing babies, giving hugs. I look forward to it because I know that it's all on the table this time. America's future is out here for us to decide. So I ask you in this, I thank you for the endorsement. I'll say for any of you who haven't been there yet, please go, elizabethwarren.com, sign up, be part of this. This is about an election. It is also about a movement. And ultimately, it is about a fight for the future of America. We must fight and we must win all of these. Thank you. Thank you.
We are with you 100%. Thank you. I cannot thank you enough for coming here
Thank
today.
you. Thank you so much.
So wonderful.
You've been wonderful. I'm going to shake